It's time for another Dice Tower review with Z. Garcia.
Hey folks, today I'm taking a look at an expansion to Neuroshima Hex. Neuroshima Hex is a tile-laying combat game. If you have not seen me talk about this, go watch that review, because I'm not going to be going over the rules of the game. I'm just going to be showing you the new faction, and that new faction is this one here, Uranopolis. And Uranopolis has a lot of really overpowered units, but they come with a big twist. Let me show you how it works, what this expansion feels like, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you if you should pick up Uranopolis. Uranopolis is a faction which is based on the idea that these mining crews survived the apocalypse, and they are still extracting valuable uranium, and so over the following decades, much of that heavy mining machinery was transformed into weapons, deadly weapons, and sent to defend the underground fortresses. And so this new town was founded, Uranopolis. And it's a mining town, and they have quite big and powerful machines, but herein lies the trick of this deck. This deck has these really powerful tiles, which I'm going to show you here. And so as you can see, you have this tile here, fires off at 3 speed. It has shields, very strong tile there. We have this one here, which as you can see is also a very powerful tile, has a new symbol, which I'll tell you about in a second. We have this one here, powerful netter. And so as you can see, these are both powerful and quick, most of these machines. And if they're not quick, then they do quite a bit of damage, and they even have this shield. Of course, you've been seeing on every one of these tiles I've been showing you here, you're seeing that symbol there, which, let's see if we can get the cameras here to focus on that. There you go, it looks like a little power plug. And so that's the idea of the set. Each of these units needs power. So how do you get this power? And what does it mean? Well, first of all, what it means is that while this unit is on the board, it will not function unless it has power. And so the deck is filled with these powerful machines that do not work, basically. However, you have these tiles here, which are going to, when they are hooked up to your machines, will give you power. And so that blue symbol there means power. Once you are plugged in, now this will start going off. It'll start to work. And there's also this character here, of which there are several copies, which can power the machine. So she operates them. And so that's the main concept of the deck. The deck is basically overpowered, but also doesn't function half the time. And you need to be able to hook it up and get it all to work together to make everything go the way you want it to. There's also a couple of really interesting action tiles in the deck. We have this one here, which is the ray, and this is the back, by the way. And the ray, when it inflicts 1 wound on each friendly and enemy unit, except the HQs, that are standing in any one line you've chosen. So, if I choose everything here, then boom, I play that, everything there gets hurt. Or I can choose any one line. I really like this tile. Very, very interesting concept. And then we have this one here, the wastes. And everything that is plugged into this, enemy tiles that is, will receive an extra wound from each attack they take, or anything else that gives wounds, really. And so this one can be pretty nasty too, again, if you can utilize it correctly. And as I said, I was going to show you this one here. This is the Ravager. It requires power, as you can see there, but it's got a cool special type of attack, which is it inflicts 1 wound on each unit, both friendly and enemy, that are standing on the 2 adjacent fields in front of it here and here, and ahead of that. And so to illustrate that, if it's here, it would hit there, there, and there. And it just plows through anything. It does not care if it's friendly, if it's not friendly. Really powerful, very fast unit. and overall, a really, really cool deck. I really like Neuroshima Hex. It's in my top 10 games of all time, and so this expansion for me is an automatic thumbs up, pretty much. It's a solid expansion, it's well done, it's got an interesting feel to it, it's something new, so I really, really like it. Now, who is it for? If you are someone who gets everything Neuroshima Hex, obviously, you don't need to be watching this, go get it. If you are someone that is a casual player and want to try something a little bit outside of the box, but not so strange that it makes the game almost a different game for you, and I'm thinking here of a couple of expansions that almost do that. Neo Jungle is a really weird expansion. So it's a weird faction, rather. Dancer, it's a really different faction. But Uranopolis is different enough to give you a new flavor for the game, give you a neat faction for the game. I love the techie and the kind of grease monkey feel of this faction, but it's not so weird that you're not going to be able to get into it and figure it out. It might take a couple of plays for you to wrap your head around the whole powering up the machines concept, but thematically, thumbs up. And mechanically on the table, really awesome. I mean, when you get some of these big machines going, you are going to be doing some serious damage. But the faction stays balanced because your opponent can cut you off from that power supply, and now you have a big machine that's just sitting there. Really like that concept. And so Uranopolis, really an awesome expansion. This game just keeps on bringing the hits, and this is another one, folks. If you like Neuroshima Hex here at all, even if you're just a casual player, like I said, and want to get an expansion, this is a solid one. Check this one out, Uranopolis. Really, really like this.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.